Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is just going to be about the DNFs that I had for February. There's only 2 of them. The rest of the books I was able to finish, which I mean, that's a pretty good month in my opinion. Yeah, ideally I have no DNFs, but I don't think that that's possible. Anyways, so the first book I DNF'd in February was Project Hail Mary, and I didn't DNF it because I didn't like it. I DNF'd it because I couldn't get into it. Like I couldn't focus on it. I tried to do just the physical book and all of the like science-y talk was going over my head and I was missing the humor behind the main character. So then I just did the audiobook. I was like, well, I'll just switch to the audiobook. And I loved the audiobook because the narrator really brought to life all of that humor and it made all the like science-y talk a little bit more digestible. However, even then, I wasn't very interested in what was going on. If I'm being so for real, I just didn't care about what was happening and who was involved. I didn't get to the part where he meets the alien that everybody's always talking about. I don't know. So again, I didn't dislike Project Hail Mary. I just was not interested. And I think that it was kind of like a right book, wrong time scenario. I just can't remember what I was coming off of when I picked up Project Hail Mary. But I can tell you that it wasn't necessarily because it was like dense or like hard to understand, because I read The Fury of the Gods and I read Mistborn, and people will say that those 2 books are quite difficult to follow, and I had no problem with them and I enjoyed them. So I think I just wasn't ready for Project Hail Mary yet. I think maybe I jumped the gun. I don't know. I really can't tell you, but I can tell you that I didn't dislike it. I didn't know enough to dislike it. I just was distracted by everything that you could possibly be distracted by as an adult. Like everything was more interesting to me than this book. So I will try it again because I do want to read it. Like I want to see if I like it or not. I just think that like for right now, we're just gonna put Project Hail Mary to the side. When the Moon Hatched, I can't even hold it because it's so big. This is a hard DNF. Like I'm going to see if maybe somebody wants it, but I did start like annotating it. I shouldn't have done that. I thought I was gonna like it more. I really did. So I got it to the like halfway mark. I'm not holding this book anymore. Oh my God. I just felt like it was a lot of fantasy books and stories mushed into one with like there was like no glue to hold them together. It was just very like, oh, that's this, and oh, that's that, and oh, I've seen that before, and that, and oh, I remember this from that. It was just that repeatedly up until the 50% mark where I stopped, and I just wasn't enjoying it. Like if I wanted to read, I don't know, ACOTAR again, which I don't, but if I wanted to, I would just pick up ACOTAR and read it. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to read something else that's like the same as something. Anyways, that's me though. That is me, because a lot of people love this book. A lot of people love it. And some of the people that I was buddy reading it with, they liked it, they finished it. I just could not. Like I couldn't. And this isn't to say that I hated the book, because I don't really think that there's many books that I hate, to be honest. But when the Moon Hatched, Sarah Parker, she created this beautiful, whimsical, magical world. Like I really liked the world as much as I saw of it. I liked it. I liked the idea of all these different types of dragons, and like it just was very interesting to me, and I felt like, oh my God, like we could go somewhere with this. Mind you, it was a little bit hard to get into because she's like overly descriptive. Red had to be described in 17 different ways every single time red came up. I don't need you to keep telling me what red is if you already told me once, maybe twice. Okay, don't make me read a 30-page glossary just to re-explain everything to me every single time it comes up. It just irritates me. It makes me feel like you think I'm stupid, but I'm not stupid. I mean, I'm sometimes a little dense, but I'm not stupid by any means. So like that in conjunction with this world that was kind of hard to get into because she was describing it so much, but I ended up liking the world. And then she tossed in the main character. I don't even know her name. Hold on. Rave is an assassin for the rebellion group Fjorduoth. Anyway, I don't know why I kept saying all of that if I knew I couldn't say it correctly. Anyways, she dropped Rave in the middle of this really pretty, whimsical, magical world the world almost felt like a little bit dainty to me. So at no point in time in this whimsical world am I expecting like such an abrasive character, the main character no less, to be like front and center. It was just, I don't know, it like pulled me out, and I never got back into it after that. Rave is, like I said, an assassin. She's like, I'm such a badass, and I'm gonna fight, and I'm gonna do this. And then her best friend or something, like her roommate that she doesn't want to admit that she loves, like they love each other like platonically. Oh my god. She just like doesn't want to admit that she cares about this person. Why? We don't know. Like you do, by 50%, I had no idea why Rave was refusing to admit that she had emotions. Whatever. I mean, it's a 700-page book, so I guess there was still plenty to learn, but. And like on top of that, she's like super vulgar. Fuck and cock it came out of her mouth every other page. And I was listening to the audiobook, and it was so off-putting. It was so off-putting. I ended up turning off the audiobook because I couldn't stand hearing it so much. Because I was like, okay, well, I'm reading, so I'll just skip, right? Like sometimes I can read and I can skip over certain words I don't like, in that sense, the curse words, which I don't mind cursing. I don't care about cursing. I curse all the time. But it just didn't make sense with the world that had been previously built. She just rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah, Rave just rubbed me entirely the wrong way. At every turn, she was talking about the guy. I don't know his name. She kept talking about him and mentioning how big he was. He's so big. He's so massive. He's tall. His thighs are the size of my body. And I'm like, girl, we get it. Dude is big as fuck. You don't have to keep saying it. You don't have to keep... There has to be something else about this character, this man, that you're clearly attracted to, but you don't want to admit to because you're problems with emotions. There has to be something else you can tell us about whoever he is. What is his name? Khan. You gotta say, there's something else about Khan you like, right? Or is it just the fact that he's big as hell? Like, that's the only reason you like him? It was just... Okay, sorry. That was like a little ragey. I shouldn't do that because there's a lot of people that like the book, and I'm not knocking it. If you liked it, great. I love that for you because it means you read 700 pages and had a good time. I love that. I would hate for people to pick up such a big book and hate it at the end. You know what I mean? I just fall into the camp of people who, like, it just didn't vibe with the story or the characters or the writing style. Sorry. That's all I have for you. I like to separate my DNFs from, like, my reading wrap-up from, like, the rest of it, just because I like to talk about the books I like, you know? I like to, like, vibe out and kiki about the that I like. The ones I don't like, I just want to get it off my chest and then keep it pushing, you know? Anyways. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you've read either of those. Let me know if you have read Project Hail Mary and like what you thought about it, like when you felt like it maybe started to pick up and stuff like that. Just drop a comment, let me know. But otherwise, I will see you guys for the next video. And as always, happy reading.